Okay, today we're going to look at the distributive property to multiply a sum by a number, multiply each addend by the number outside the parentheses. So an example of that would be 3, and then in parentheses we have 20 plus 15. This guy on the outside, he's going to make friends with the guy on the inside. So remember, parentheses mean multiply, so we're going to take 3 times 20 and 3 times 15. 3 times 20 is 60, and 3 times 15 is 45. Then we're just going to add them together, and we get 105. Okay, in this part down here, we're going to find each product mentally and then show the steps you use. So the first problem I have is 9 times 4 and 1/3. So what we're going to do is we are going to break this down. So we're going to take the first number, and we're going to multiply it by 4, because that's the first part of the fraction, plus, and then we're going to take the first number and multiply it 1/3, because that's the second part of the fraction. So 9 times 4 is 36. And then 9 times 1/3, I'm going to rewrite that here, 9 over 1 times 1 over 3. I'm going to cross cancel, the 3 becomes a 1, the 9 becomes a 3, so our answer is 3. 36 plus 3 is 39. Let's try another one. 5 times 2 and 3/5. When we have something like that, we're going to take the first number, multiply it by the first part of the second number, so that's a 2, plus sign. We're going to have a 5 again, and multiply it by the second part of the second number. Oops, that's a 3. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10. I'm going to rewrite 5 over 1 times 3 over 5. The 5's cross cancel, leaving us with a 3. So 10 plus 3 equals 13. Okay, that's how you do it with mixed numbers. Here's how you do it with a decimal. I have 2 times 3.6. So our first number is going to come out. It's going to multiply with the first part of the second number. So 2 times 3 plus 2 is now going to multiply with the second part of the second number, which is 0.6. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. There's one decimal point, so we're going to put that in. We're going to add our whole numbers. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then add our 0.2 in, so 7.2. I know there's only 3 here, but we're going to do a fourth one. I want to show you how to do it when we have a whole number. So we have 5 times 22. So we have 5 times 20 plus 5 times 2, because 20 plus 2 is 22. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 2 is 10. And we get 110. So that's how you find each product mentally. Now we're going to use the distributive property down here. We're going to do 4 different ones, and we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So our first problem is 8, and then in parentheses, x plus 3. And this is a property where it's going to multiply by each number on the inside, because parentheses mean multiplication. So I have 8 times x, which is 8x, and I have 8 times 3, which is 24, and that's your answer. Our next one, we have 5, and then in parentheses, 9 plus x. So remember, I want him to be friends with everyone on the inside. So 5 times 9 is 45. Then 5 times x is 5x. 2, and then x plus 3. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. So that's your answer. And our last problem on this part, we have 7, and then 3x plus 2. So 7 times 3x is 21x, because 7 times 3 is 21, and you keep your x on. And then 7 times 2 is 14. And that's how you use the distributive property. Now, we're going to do opposite. We're going to go from having an answer like this and making it look like this. So I have 12x plus 8. So this is called factor the expression. To do that, you're going to find the highest number that can go into both 12 and 8, and that is 4. So 4 times what is 12, and that is 3x. So we have 3x left over there. And 4 times 2 is 8. Our next one we're going to factor is 9 plus 21. So this one doesn't have a variable in it, but we can still do it. A number that goes into both 9 and 21 is 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, we're going to do 2 more. 14x plus 28y. The highest number that can go into both of those are 14. So 14 times 1 is 14. But we're going to leave it with just an x, because you can put a 1 in front of it if you want, but if I just have one x, it means 1x. And 14 times 2 is 28. Then we need to make sure we bring that y down, because we didn't move that y to the outside. Our next one is going to be 80x plus 56x. Okay, number that can go in both of those is 8. And you also see there's an x here and an x there. So that means that we can bring the x out. So we have 8x. What's left? 8 times 10. And the x does not go back here because we brought it outside. And 8 times 7. And that is your answer. We don't bring that x and put it back down there because we moved it to the outside.